Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And in this particular video, I want us to look at the fallout between Siaya Governor James Bob Orengo and his deputy, William Oduol Denge. What is the root cause of the fallout, the truth behind the fallout, and why personally I strongly believe that Raila Odinga and ODM party are letting their supporters down. I want us to look at that. And it is also my hope and prayer that this particular video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, as you can see, I am fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. And maybe you could also let me know where you are watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. And for this particular video, please, in the comment section, let me know the constituency you are watching us from. I just want to know whether our distribution is good. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier today, the members of the County Assembly of Siaya voted for the motion to remove William Oduol Denge from office. And they've formed a committee of 14 members to probe that impeachment motion, whether there are grounds. And they're laying two main grounds for that impeachment: gross misconduct and violation of the Constitution. As a matter of fact, I looked at the voting pattern and I was shocked that 38 members of the County Assembly of Siaya actually voted for that motion to remove Oduol, and 3 abstained. You know, I'm wondering why Oduol could not garner enough support. But I've talked to both camps, their supporters, and some of the issues they are raising are very petty. So I want us to look at some of the issues each camp is raising and then explain to you guys why I strongly believe that ODM and Raila Odinga should have approached this matter differently. Let me begin by what James Orengo team are telling me. Number one, they are telling me that when they were going into the election, Oduol knew so well in his mind that James Orengo was going to be a laid-back leader or governor. And therefore, Oduol in his mind thought that he was going to be the governor, in quotes. Something similar to what Uhuru and Ruto had in the first term of Ruto government. Remember, Uhuru was the president, William Ruto was the deputy president, but William Ruto was actually running the show. So, Orengo team are accusing Oduol of harboring such kind of thoughts in his mind that Orengo was going to be a laid-back governor, and Oduol, coming from the corporate, was the guy who was going to run the county. Number two, Orengo team are also saying that Oduol believed very strongly that Orengo was going to be based in Nairobi. You know, Orengo in all his political life, he has always been in Nairobi. MP Nairobi, Senator Nairobi, and therefore Orengo was going to focus more on national politics compared to other governors who are going to be down here. And that immediately after the election, Orengo was in Nairobi dealing with the Raila Odinga petition. And that confirmed to Oduol that Orengo was going to be in Nairobi and he was going to run the affairs of the county. When that did not happen, when Orengo started staying here, problem started coming up. They are also saying, Orengo team, that James Orengo delegated a lot of power to Oduol Denge immediately they formed the government. Remember, Orengo was busy with the presidential petition after being sworn in. So Oduol was delegated a lot of powers, which according to them, Oduol misused. And they told me that one of the powers he was delegated was on the issue of pending bills. And that's where these guys, their fallout started emerging. Because according to them, there are people who had interest in the government of Siaya, in the previous regime, current regime, or even people who just had interest, not necessarily supporters of Orengo, who really benefited. And they're also saying that during that time of the delegation, he also empowered and appointed Oduol to chair a committee which was going to restructure or set up systems and structures at the county. And that's where Oduol's problem began. He ended up kicking a few guys out. He didn't know that those guys were untouchable. Then they also believe, now let us go to what Oduol team are telling me, because I've talked to several of them. According to Oduol's team, when these guys were campaigning, James Orengo, in his mind, and they were working very closely with my friend Atandi, that's what these guys are telling me, wanted a situation where after the election, they were going to kick out Oduol so that Orengo would become a governor without a deputy governor. And that's why they took control of MCAs from the onset. And that was the intention. And that they were going to follow what a kind of a scenario of Sonko. You remember Sonko in Nairobi, where he was the governor and worked without a deputy governor for a long time, because they feared that Oduol, having contested as a governor, still had those ambitions of becoming the next governor in 2027. And therefore, Oduol was going to use the position of the deputy governor to participate in politics. So they're just executing their plan. And they're also saying, Oduol people are saying, that all these shenanigans we are hearing about the impeachment are basically a strategy to divert the attention of the people of Siaya from the real issues which are facing that particular country. That there are certain corruption allegations, and that those allegations are now being hidden through this particular shenanigans, the talks about impeachment, And they're also saying that Oduol people are also telling me that what Oduol is doing is basically he is defending himself. And why is he defending himself? They're saying that Oduol has been isolated. He's now alone. And the only thing he can do is to defend himself so that he's not faced with any serious challenge. For example, by threatening to go to court, they believe that if Oduol goes to court, and then James Orengo, because Oduol can go to court, Kenya Kwanza can take advantage, then James Orengo will be taken to stand, will take a plea. At the moment he takes a plea in court, then he will be asked to step aside. So that's a defense mechanism by Oduol. That's what they're telling me. And they're also telling me that the main reason why Oduol is being fought now is that when James Orengo gave him the opportunity to set up systems and structures, he kind of stepped on a few toes. And those toes are what are now ganging up. Especially the finance department in Siaya and the committee on pending bills which he shared. I don't know the truth about all those, but for me, I found those allegations to be a bit petty. But let me focus on the politics or the political aspect of this impeachment and why I strongly believe Raila Odinga should have approached it in a different way. Number one, what is coming out now is that ODM as a political party and Raila Odinga as an institution cannot really solve internal disputes within the structures of the party. And I find this, I'm not defending Oduol in any way, and I'm not against Orengo or defending Orengo. If anything, if I were to support these two individuals, I would definitely support Orengo for personal reasons. When my dad passed on, James Orengo from nowhere supported me in a very big way, something which I cannot take for granted. He did that. So my opinion are just purely as someone who supports Raila and believes that some of these actions can affect ODM in a way. The fact that Raila Odinga appeared publicly with Orengo during this peak, I know he has tried to to broker a peace deal between them. But the fact that he appeared with Orengo is what gave the ODM officials in Siaya to write the letter. Personally, if Orengo were to be impeached, that should have been left in the hands of the MCAs, without ODM being seen to be meddling. The moment ODM branch there expelled Oduol over this matter, for me that was wrong. It shows that ODM as a party cannot resolve internal issues. It brings forth ability of Raila Odinga to resolve dispute, because we are talking of a dispute of people who are very close. Orengo and Oduol were very close, and Raila cannot bring peace between them. It's a wrong signal for me. Number two, it also gives fodder to those who wish ODM bad, that there's a kind of intolerance within ODM party. You know, in 2013, I actually campaigned and supported Oduol in Siaya. That time, everybody in ODM was supporting Rasanga. In 2017, I supported Rasanga. 2022, I supported Orengo, because I believe Orengo can make, he understands the main reason why devolution was formed. So I believe he can do better. But the moment ODM as a party came into this matter, it kind of showed a kind of intolerance. I've followed Oduol. In 2013, he was being accused of working closely with Uhuru and Ruto. I think that time I was close to him well enough, and I don't think that was the truth. Again, now being accused, you know, it shows intolerance, and this will give opponents an opportunity to attack ODM party. And that's why Nandi senator can actually write whatever he's writing, as if Siaya impeachment is the only one which is being taken to the Senate. We saw the governor for Meru, Kawira, was taken before the Senate. He never typed such kind of things. And number three, and this is my biggest fear, is William Ruto's factor. You know, William Ruto is keen in Nyanza politics, very keen. William Ruto believes that Raila Odinga is going to support Kalonzo, so he wants to ensure that he sets foot in Nyanza. And he wants to ensure that after the next election, Raila Odinga will not have a governor in Siaya. Raila Odinga will not have a governor in Kisumu, and Raila Odinga will not have a governor in Homa Bay, and that Raila Odinga will not have a governor in Migori. He doesn't care about the MPs. That is his strategy. He doesn't care about the MPs. So if you look at Ruto factor, the fact that he has Ruto has Owalo in Siaya, he has Wajonya, Engineer Gumbo on his side, it's something we should worry ODM as a political party. And lastly, it also gives UDA a propaganda tool to venture into Nyanza, that ODM has its people. You know, if you are unwanted, you can't really prosper. And again, even the issues of corruption is now coming out as if ODM as a political party is supporting or condoning corruption, which is something which is not right, because Oduol is raising certain issues about corruption. Orengo team are telling me that the fact is Orengo is the one who is fighting the corruption, because when Oduol was given those mandates, he really messed up. He paid some people who ought not to have been paid, you know, so many things. So let me wait and see how this thing is going to unfold, but we will be shocked at the turn of event. Nobody is going to gain and nobody is going to lose. Both of them are going to lose. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.